All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to Whitetail Survival. And today I wanted to go over another survival kit here. This is made by Ready Hour, and this one is still available right now. I just ordered this like a week ago, and I'm just getting around to unpackaging this one now. So this one's a little bit bigger of a kit, as you can see here. It's more of a large size. I don't think this one is going to fit in a cargo pocket, but this could be a supplement to a bigger kit. You could toss it in a day pack. There's a pretty good amount of stuff in here. So according to this, there is 47 items in here. So we might as well open this thing and get into it real quick. So here is the bag. And as you can see, there's still a couple staples in it from that packaging. Well, that's not a big deal. They're right through the mesh. So there's actually a bag in here. And this kind of reminds me a little bit of the Coghlan's kit we did earlier on. But let's open this thing up. And there we are. We got Velcro, and inside we have another bag, and this is their own kind of lock sack, I guess, that it has their own branding on it. And here's some more Ready Hour branding. So here's the kit as a whole. I can already see some stuff in there. So this one's going to be too big to have in focus, so I'm going to put it aside and I'll bring the stuff out one at a time. But as you can see here, you pull, it's open, and this should be waterproof. So you unfold it a couple times, and there you have access to everything. So right off the bat here, I'll take the biggest thing out first. And this is just their survival guide. And it's a pretty neat thing. It gives you an overview. And this would give you something to read if you had some light. But there's a lot of cool information in this. Tells you how to make some traps and how to deal with a bunch of different stuff while you're out there. So that's a cool addition to it. And then let's go in here next. And I'll grab this one out. This is 50 feet of trail marker tape. And this stuff's pretty heavy duty. Anybody that hunts normally would use this, or if you have a piece of ground and you want to show somebody how to get from one point to another, you can tie these things up. But you could literally use this to make a trail from the point where you realized you got lost to as far as you wanted. You know, if you used 1 foot of tape and put these every couple hundred yards, there's 50 foot on here. So that's a long way. So that's a cool item to see there. Here we have a tea light candle. These are really good in use with a survival blanket. You can use that to keep warm. And here we have a secondary tea light candle. To me, like, we got 2 Ready Hour branded glow sticks. So these are bright. They're really nice. These are big enough that you would be able to see if it was pitch black. And these are 12 hour. So they last a long time. Get in there. Here we have a large roll of duct tape. You know, it's 2-inch wide roll, but this is more duct tape than I've seen in any other kit. So there's quite a few layers on there. It's way more than 3 feet, so there's a lot of uses for that. Here we have an emergency poncho. And this also has their branding on it. It's an adult size, but these things are nice. You could use them, you know, literally just throw this on to keep you from getting wet. And you might be able to incorporate it into a shelter if you cannot rip it. It doesn't feel too bad, but it's still light plastic, but it would keep you dry. And then this looks like a roll of paracord here, and this one's not too long, so let's open this thing up. Oh no, it tells me right here I don't even need to. So this is 12 feet, so it'll be enough to string a ridgeline or something. And that's very strong. You know, in there's 7 strands, so that's a lot more cordage than what you think, plus the sheath. And then here we have 35 feet worth of this nylon cord. And it feels pretty strong. It's not real big, but this would have a lot of loose uses, just attaching stuff together. Whatever else you would need any kind of cordage for. Going in the next spot, we'll do that one a little bit later. That's a small pack. Here we have an emergency survival blanket, which is awesome. This could save your life, along with these candles, as I was saying earlier. You're gonna wrap one of these around you, light the dig a small hole and light this candle underneath you, and it will raise the inside temperature of this blanket up warm enough to keep you alive. So that's a neat thing. And next we have 2 of these fire starting. They're like a fire extender. It's like compressed, like wood grains or cardboard or something. It's real dense, but this stuff burns for a while. Usually when you get these in a kit, it's just a little tiny square. But I would bust this off into pieces and start fires just a little bit at a time. And the next thing we have in here is a whistle. And it's another whistle with a P in it, like one of your coaches would have used when you were in school in a sport. So I'm going to take it out here real quick and we'll give it a blow. So here's that whistle. And these are all loud, so let's give it a listen real quick. So that's a super familiar sound. It's a very, very loud whistle, so. And you don't have to blow real hard to get these things to be loud. So that's a very loud, good whistle. So it feels like the plastic's pretty strong on it. You don't got to worry about breaking it. That's all good. So here comes the next thing. Here is a larger size pair of tweezers. So that's a pretty big size pair of tweezers, but they come to a very good fine point, which is exactly what you want. And they have a little bit of texturing on the inside. So you'll be able to grab some splinters and stuff with that if you needed to. And the next thing, there is a notepad here, and the paper doesn't feel real waxy or anything, so I'm guessing it's just a normal notepad. There's probably 20 pages here, so I didn't see a pencil yet, but maybe there a pencil or a pen or something in there. There might be something like that in there. Set this here. And here we got some large-sized alcohol-free cleaning pads. So it tells you what's in them right there. So it's alcohol free, but these are pretty big. They look more like you know, like the size of a wet nap or something. So let's move on to the next thing. And here is a pencil. And, you know, this one, it's not a short one. It's about 3 inches long, maybe a little more. So there's what we have to write with the notepad. And then getting into here, we have so here's one of these little tool cards. And these have, well, that one's pretty blunt, but this one isn't a saw end. But here's a can opener. Use that for a bottle opener right here. Here's some different hex head sizes. And there's just an assortment of stuff on this, little smaller sizes. I guess you can use this like a compass. Somebody told me in a comment earlier that some of these are magnetized and you can use the whole thing as a compass. And I was wondering yesterday if that's why my snap swivel was sticking to the one in that video. So that's a possibility. I've never checked it yet, but that's a good little tool. Like I said, eventually I wanted to try one of these ones with the sharpened ends. I would like to try to turn one of these into a hatchet. I think that would be pretty cool. And then here we have, we're getting into some smaller stuff. So here is a book of matches, and it's a full book. Let me get into this thing, maybe. So these also have the branding on it. They do have a pretty cool symbol. I think this company does like freeze-dried food or something, or long-term food storage. But as you can see, this is an entire book of matches. So you have that as a good way to start a fire. As long as these things stay dry, you're good there. Here we have one of these smaller signal mirrors, but it is hard plastic and it has the aiming hole in it, so that's a plus. You can see one of these for a very, very long way. And then here we have a little small carabiner. Sit that right down in here. And then here, I didn't see exactly how much was on here when I was looking through that, but let me take a look real quick. So right here, this is 10 feet. It looks to me like it would be a little more than 10 feet. 10 feet is, no, I guess it could be. It's a pretty small circle. So they claim 10 feet on here, maybe a hair more. And then this kind of fell out. Here is a safety pin. It's just got a slight bend in it. Now it's gone. Lots of uses for these. And while I have this out, here is a small fishing kit. And I'm not going to dump this stuff all over the place, but as you can see, there's two separate leads of hanks of fishing line, 2 floats. There is 2 snap swivels in there. There is 2 hooks, 2 sinkers, and there is a rubber, looks like a shrimp or something. So that's a good little kit. At least it gives you something as bait. You're not just having to dig for something. You can throw one of these lines out with a float or a sinker and have it just floating in the current there while you look for more bait. Which is cool. And here's the last thing in that bag. So I'm gonna pull this one open because this one is not ziplocked. So start digging in here. Here is a compass. And oh, there it goes. So it moves. You just have to, this one's a little sensitive. You're going to have to hold that thing nice and flat to get it to go. There's no liquid in there. It is just a regular compass, which that's not a bad thing. Sometimes the liquid ones are slow. Then the next thing we have in here is a nail, and it's like an 8-penny or something. Maybe a 6-penny. So that's a neat thing. I didn't think one of these would be useful. I watched a video the other day that the guy actually fastened the beginning of his shelter, his ridge pole, to the tree with this, and it was a pretty neat thing. So I think that's a good addition to these kits, even if you tossed another one or two in there. Well, speaking about that, there is two, so that's pretty neat. And then here is something. Instead of rubber bands or ranger bands, they sent in 2 hair ties, and this is a really good idea. My wife and my daughter, they wear these things all the time, and they seem to last so long. So this is actually a pretty neat addition to this kit. It's something different that I haven't seen in a kit yet. 2 hair ties. And then here we have 3 of these bread ties. And the next thing, we have a bobbin of black thread. And there's a lot on here. It is a full bobbin, so if anybody knows how much is on a bobbin, let me know in the comments. Along with that bobbin of black thread, here is a large sewing needle. This one's not going to be hard to thread. It's got a big eyelet on it, so that's a nice long needle. And we'll put that right here for now. And then here we have another safety pin, and it's just a tad bit smaller than the other one. And coming from there, we have, maybe if I can pick it up, these look like razor blades to me, so let's pop one open and see. And they are. And these ones are not like a scraper blade. These are a double-sided razor blade for a razor like you would shave your face with. So these are extremely sharp, and they are sharp on both sides if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so that's very sharp on both sides. So that it came with 2 of these. I'm gonna put this thing back very carefully. And I do like to see the razor knife blades in here and the scraper blades. These are a little bit hard to work with, but I guess right in the center there, it does give you a place to fasten them. So I guess this is a better cutting tool than having nothing. So there's 2 of these razor blades. And then we have 2 real small zip ties. They're probably like 4-pound breaking strength zip ties. And then, other than that, we have just the bag and the mesh. So there's a lot of multi-use things in here. That's pretty neat. If there is anything you would think you would want to add into a kit like this, if you bought it and decided you wanted to do it, or if you were building a kit similar to this, and you thought maybe you wanted to add something in here, put that down in the comments. Just type what you would add to this, what you would take out, what you need, what you don't need. That's a neat thing. I like to know how people find this useful, how people don't find it useful, what you would add, if you like it, if you hate it. That really helps the channel out. So Other than that, if you enjoy the content, please like, comment, share, subscribe. It really helps me out, and I will catch all of you on the next one.